Thank you, Chris. Well, I'm here with Dr. Taylor Prchal. He's an optometrist from Vision Source, and he's talking with us about National Eye Exam Month. So thanks for joining us.
Sure, glad to be here.
Well, today there is so much more technology in eye exams than what was just once doing this. So you've actually brought some props to kind of explain how an eye exam works.
Right, so typically most folks think of an eye exam as better one or two, or cover one eye and read the letters, and the same with the other eye. So that's one thing that we can do now if you'd like.
Okay.
Maybe cover your right eye, left eye, either one.
Okay.
And then I have a typical chart here that we use. Of course, this needs to be a little farther away, but Kelly, if you cover
I can read it really well right now.
Yeah, so we would have her read down with one eye and then switch eyes, and then read down with the other eye, and see how far down we could go to test the visual acuity, we call it. If there are any problems, of course, that's something we're going to look into. This is commonly done at school screenings, and then oftentimes at primary care offices as well. And of course, we do it in our office.
Sure. Now, how far down on the list have you seen someone get? What's the smallest letter?
You know, the standard is 20/20, so it's down right around in here. And if we hit the 20/20 letters, we're doing well. It doesn't ensure healthy eyes. However, I have seen some folks get down to what we call 20/10 before, which is
Superman.
quite frankly, incredible vision.
And then do you ask them if they can see through to the next room too? And then
Yeah, occasionally
crazy?
we like to joke with folks who seem to be superhuman, but you know, obviously the walls are limiting.
Sure. Well, what is the next gadget you've brought?
So sure, this is a test very similar. We oftentimes use this to test for kids' vision. They're just shapes, as you can see, a hand, a cake. Oftentimes those are for kids who, well, don't know their letters yet.
Sure.
And then the other test that's commonly done at screenings, and you can slide these glasses on. These are special glasses for helping test depth perception. And then we have a little book here that checks for what we call stereopsis, which is depth perception. And so Kelly, if you see here, you can probably see some of the letters and shapes jumping off the page.
Yes.
And that lets us know, and we test to see how well you can do, and lets us know how well the eyes are working together. Of course, if the eyes aren't working together, we want to know why and remedy that if we can.
Wow. So now, what I can see, you know, some of it almost looks 3D.
Right, and that's the idea.
Okay.
Similar to, say, a magic eye, those books that we used to have. The whole idea is it measures our ability to perceive depth, and this is going to help with driving, anything as far as, you know, heck, as simple as walking or going up and down stairs. Our eyes working together is a huge advantage.
Sure. Well, we're going to be back in just a little bit to learn more about the importance of an eye exam, so stay with us. Taylor Prchal, an optometrist from Vision Source, and he's been explaining to us the importance of eye exams because it's National Eye Exam Month. So real quick, we're actually going to test Sasha's vision in just a moment, but how old should you be when you get an eye exam?
Great question. You know, we start off doing eye exams through a program called Infant C. It's an eye exam that we start actually at 6 months of age, typically when we want to see our first exam before a year. And that's just making sure that prescription's even between the eyes and there are no, you know, large defects that we need to address. After that, it's pretty much every year. Definitely before we start school, you have to see the board to learn. And then other diseases can crop up as well, but typically once a year for most everyone. Very smart.
Okay, so Sasha is on the other side of the set right now. She's got the handy dandy eye cover-upper tool. What is it actually called?
We call it an occluder.
An occluder. And she's going to cover one of her eyes, and she's going to try to read this. Now, Sasha, you wear contacts. That's correct. Sasha wears contacts, so we know that her eyes should be readable right now. You should be able to read things.
Hope so.
Okay, so Sasha, you go ahead and conduct the
experiment. Sure, so cover your left eye. Perfect, and keep that right eye open. And can we read this one?
Oh yeah, HVZDS.
Let's start down here.
DVOHC.
Great, and here.
HGCKO.
And here.
ZHCSR.
And the bottom one?
I can't read. It starts with an R.
Good job.
That's great.
That's Superman.
An O or a C, and then it ends with an N. That's all I could read.
You got it. Switch eyes.
Oh God, this is.
How about now? Here?
KZCSK.
And here?
HGCKO.
You know, you've got great vision.
I know.
One thing to note, though, is that these charts have to be measured at a certain distance. So if you're too close, well, it's kind of cheating.
We're a
So
little
we had,
close.
that's why we had Sasha stand away a little bit. But yep, so you've got great vision.
Way to go, Sasha. Well, I want to ask you, what do you think is the #1 thing that people need to know this morning about eye care?
Sure, I would say just annual eye exams. If you have, of course, an eye injury or you feel like you can't see as well out of one eye or the other, have an exam. You know, a lot of vision loss can happen without pain, and so that's something that we like to make sure we address. Yeah, just have them looked at if there's any concern at all, and of course your annual exam is going to be beneficial.
Very good. Now, if you have been impacted by an optometrist, there's actually a contest going on right now, How an Optometrist Changed My Life. What's that all about?
Right, so the Georgia Optometric Association is an association that many optometrists in the state belong to and support, and it helps to advance our profession. One of the things we're doing now is going through the just vast majority of folks who have had eye exams and looking for someone who's got a great story about how we've, as a profession, an optometrist has given an eye exam and improved their vision or maybe saved some vision, and in cases, quite frankly, saved their lives because many diseases such as blood pressure and diabetes can be detected through an eye exam.
That's great. So if they would like more information, what do they need to do?
Sure, so the website, Facebook, it's on a Facebook page, Georgia Optometric Association, so facebook.com/Georgia Optometric Association. And you'll find it right there. I looked at it last night. It's one of the first few items on the screen.
All right. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for giving us a little run through of an eye exam. We sure appreciate it.
Yep, glad to be here.
We'll be back in just a little bit.